Welcome to the Explainer. All right, let's talk about something I'm sure every investor has seen, those brokerage bonuses. You know, the ones that sound a little too good to be true. We're going to find out if they are.
Okay, so let's get right into it. You've seen these ads, right? A 3% match on your transfer, maybe $1,000 in free stock, or even just cold, hard cash, all for moving your money over. But come on, is it really that simple? Just sign up and boom, free money. So in this explainer, we're going to slice right through all that marketing hype. We're digging into the nitty-gritty, the terms, the conditions, and what actual investors are saying to find out what's really going on with these offers.
And wow, look at the variety here. You've got SoFi throwing around up to $1,000 for new accounts, Robinhood giving out gift stock, WeBull with that 3% transfer match. I mean, it's pretty clear these companies are fighting tooth and nail for your money.
Okay, so it's super important to know there are basically two main types of these deals. You've got your deposit bonus, that's for opening a totally new account. And then you have the transfer bonus, which is them trying to get you to switch teams, you know? And those, well, those can be a lot bigger.
Yeah, these offers look amazing at first glance, but as anyone who's been around the block knows, the devil is always in the details. The real story, it's very deep in that fine print. So let's get our magnifying glasses out and start decoding it.
So here it is, the million-dollar question. What's the catch, right? Because let's be real, free money almost never is. There are pretty much always strings attached. And here are some of the biggest ones. We're talking about really long holding periods where you can't touch your money, these tricky net deposit rules, and something called a clawback where they can actually take the bonus back. Yikes. Let's zoom in on this one term because it's absolutely crucial. Net deposit amount. This is the foundation of almost every single one of these deals. See, it's not just about what you put in, it's about what stays in. Now, the good news is if the market tanks, that usually doesn't hurt you. But if you pull money out, oh yeah, that can definitely cost you the bonus.
And just how long are we talking for these holding periods? Well, they can be long, like seriously long. We're not talking a month or two. WeBull wants you for a year. Some users mention 2 years. And Robinhood, one of their big offers has you locked in for 5 years. That's a huge commitment. And you know, every one of these deals is a little different. The terms can be confusing. So hey, if you've run into a weird term or have a question, for sure drop it in the comments. We genuinely love to see what you found.
And what happens if you break the rules? Well, get ready for the clawback. And yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like. The brokerage will literally reach into your account and take their bonus money back. Sometimes it's just a piece of it, but sometimes they take the whole thing.
Okay, enough with the legal jargon. What's the word on the street? You know, what do real people who've actually done this think? We went digging through Reddit to get the real scoop. And it's a mixed bag for sure. On one hand, you have people who are absolutely crushing it. Like this one user who said they banked around $3,000 last year just from hopping on these deals. So yeah, if you can play by the rules, the money is definitely real. But there's also a ton of skepticism. A lot of folks are pretty wary, especially about some of the newer fintech companies. They're asking, is a couple $100 really worth the risk of moving my entire portfolio to a platform that feels like it could just disappear?
And just like we talked about, the rules can be super confusing. This person was worried that if their investments went down, they'd lose the bonus. It's a totally fair question. Thankfully, others in the community jumped in to clarify that, no, it's usually you withdrawing money that triggers the penalty, not the market just doing its thing. And then there's this. This is a huge one. At the end of the day, you actually have to use the app. And this, let's call it a colorful review from a user, really hits the nail on the head. A bonus is great, but if the platform itself is a nightmare to navigate, that can ruin the whole experience, even if it technically works. All right, so let's say you see one of these offers, and you're tempted. What do you need to do before you pull the trigger to make sure you're not making a big mistake?
This is basically your pre-flight checklist. Seriously, you might want to pause here. Before you commit a single dollar, you need to be able to answer every single one of these questions. How long is that holding period? How exactly do they calculate that net deposit thing? And don't forget taxes. You got to know how this bonus is going to be taxed. So here's the bottom line. Can these bonuses be a great way to juice your portfolio? Absolutely. But are they free money? No way. It's a trade-off, plain and simple. You're giving up your freedom, the ability to move your money whenever you want, in exchange for that bonus. The only question that matters is that trade worth it for you?
Hey, if this explainer helped you make sense of all this, do us a favor and hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.